So 2 days ago, we got the One Punch Man Season 3 trailer, or at least we thought it was the trailer. It was not. It was a PV, promotional video, which fully explains actually why there was no animation. Promotional videos are usually just showing you the characters and the art style, and that's typically about it. But it was extremely strange for them to release this, knowing that the fan base is eyeballing this season of One Punch Man. Is it going to save or break this anime? So it turns out that this PV was done entirely by one guy, Kazunori Ozawa. And he's actually a pretty good animator. I mean, he's not bad. So what happened was they asked him to put together a PV by himself, and then they foolishly released it before the trailer. Of course, a lot of fans, they thought this was the trailer, and it looked like a PowerPoint presentation. It was just a lot of still frames. I made a full video, just extremely disconcerting, but the real trailer is coming, guys. We have not really seen too much of the real animation. I do believe the Garo scenes are actually from this series, but this PV is not. It's more supposed to just be like a hype video to hype up that the trailer's about to come. It's not supposed to be the trailer, but it just confused the heck out of fans. And because of this, fans went to Twitter and just completely blasted the animation staff. We have kind of an unfortunate problem on our hands here where people are taking it into their own hands to harass staff that make these anime, make a lot of judgmental statements and things. And unfortunately, these animators like Kazunori Ozawa and Kenichiro Aoki, who's probably the best animator on the entire staff at the moment, are starting to lose motivation, and they're extremely worried that people are just way too hostile. So they've been working on this season for like 6 years. I mean, they've had the time, and the expectations are extremely high. Extremely, extremely high. Basically, JC staff has no complaints. They have no ability to play the blame game on anyone else except themselves. In season 2, they said they didn't have enough production time, which is true, they didn't. But season 3, they've had plenty of time. They've had like 10 times the amount of time, literally. So it should be flawless at that point, in my opinion. And so because of season 1 and because they've had this long break and because season 2 was not up to par and was rushed, fans are like, you better make season 3 godly. Like, look at all these other anime that are out right now, and the animation is insane. Like, we're in this kind of new age anime renaissance with shows like One Piece, Dragon Ball, Bleach, Solo Leveling. I mean, there's a million of them that the animation these days is incredible. So it's like, why One Punch Man, which is a very beloved property, is it not getting the attention it deserves? And essentially, the animators and JC staff are sweating bullets. There is everything riding on them right now. And I think we need the fans, though, honestly, to like chill out. Like, you guys can't be attacking the staff. It's okay if you want to give your opinions and like they'll probably read it. But if you guys harass the staff of these anime, they're just going to like quit. And you're not going to have anime anymore. Like, you got to encourage them. Be nice when you criticize it. The fact of the matter is, the vast majority of fans, me included, thought this was the trailer. And fortunately, it's not. The actual trailer is probably coming out in like 2 weeks. This was just supposed to hype up the trailer, but like fans like, oh my gosh. I mean, you should have been on Twitter the last couple days. They have been raging, calling it a PowerPoint presentation, Blue Lock season 3. One guy said, maybe you can take mushrooms so you can imagine that there's animation happening. People were just completely roasting it. And I feel bad for the staff because they obviously worked very hard. This PV was rushed. It's really not their fault that there's no animation. They should just not have released this at all. Like, they should have waited to release the trailer and then maybe do some PV for like some extra promotional material. But it was a huge mistake, whoever made the decision to put one animator on the PV and then release it when everybody's expectations are insanely high. In season 3, all of the S-rank heroes are going to dive deep down into the Monster Association headquarters, where they'll all have incredibly tough battles. There will be tons of action, lots of boss fights, and ultimately at the end, Saitama will wander his way through before he encounters the Monster King, Orochi. But before they fight, Garo has to fight him, and that's probably going to be the best episode of the entire season. We'll still have to see if Orochi is going to be CGI. I'm assuming it is. This insanely powerful psychic guy versus Tatsumaki is going to be an incredible fight. We'll probably get some glimpses of the monster cadre coming in maybe around the end of the season. These guys will most likely be fighting in season 4 though. But the main character of season 3 is actually Garo. His transformations, all of his battles against both monsters and heroes alike, and he keeps pushing his limits and growing stronger and more cool as the series progresses. So although we're going to get lots of epic battles with all the S-class heroes, Garo is absolutely the MVP of this season. And we will have some Saitama, but he really doesn't do too much. He'll probably have the final battle, but otherwise you're going to be watching a whole lot of Garo. And trust me, you're going to want to start to fall in love with this character. If you haven't read the manga, everybody loves Garo. He's just so well written, such a cool character, and his fights are so amazing, and they just keep getting better and better, and he keeps getting stronger and cooler. This man is a walking Zenkai boost, and we're all extremely, extremely pumped to watch him fight against the Monster King Orochi, which should actually be pretty early on in the season. It'll probably be like episode 3 or something. We're also going to get Zombie Man versus Pureblood, Child Emperor versus Phoenix Man, Super Alloy Darkshine against Garo, and Flashy Flash versus Hellfire and Gale. These fights are all going to be amazing. They're super intense, high action, well written, and honestly, like, they really shouldn't need to use any CGI except for probably Orochi, because he's just looks like impossible to draw. We'll also have a few encounters with Rover. Both Garo and Saitama will take a shot at him, and the rest of the characters are going to be pushed pretty much to their limits. So again, although it's not the Saitama show in this season, you're going to see like all the S-rank heroes pushed to their absolute limit in these battles and what they're actually capable of. Now, I know some fans are like, just want to see more Saitama, but a lot of fans start to like all these stories of these characters because their personalities are just very well flushed out. And this Monster Association arc is going to last like years, literal seasons. I don't know if they'll be able to have the Saitama vs. God Garo fight in season 4, but they have a lot of ground to cover. Like, this Monster Association arc that is starting goes on for a very long time. It is a massive arc in the franchise, and I honestly think we're gonna get spoiled with a lot of really good animation. I think fans at this point have their expectations set unimaginably high, but if it's anything like the Garo clips that we got, I mean, that looked really good to me. So I think we'll be okay. I think it was just a big mistake to release the PV trailer. It's not the actual footage of the anime, but I'm pretty sure the Garo scenes were. They've had 6 years to work on it. They have the ability to make up for their mistakes on season 2. And I do understand where fans are coming from, where it's like there really is no excuses this time around. But the pressure maybe is just simply too high on the animators. I'm sure they gave it their all, but it's going to be really important that you guys don't like completely trash these animators. I mean, I know I can't stop you. I'm sure no matter what happens, there's going to be people going on Twitter and just raging from like one bad in-between frame. It's kind of unavoidable, but hopefully JC Staff can redeem themselves. If this season is great, then I think fans will be really happy. The only issue is, why is it taking them 6 years? Because that means to get season 4, we're all going to be grandpas by that point. Like, what is going on with the production? Why are they struggling so much? Why is it taking so long? And why aren't they revealing more? They're being very secretive, probably because they're so nervous about the criticism. But I still do have high expectations because the Garo clip was very good. They've had the adequate time. It was just, again, massive fumble to release that PV and try to hype people up when it's actually literally like just a PowerPoint presentation. That was just such a huge mistake. Unfortunately, the One Punch Man property is just riddled with these kind of mistakes. Between that and Murata redrawing the ninja arc over and over for 2 years, I don't know what these guys are doing, but I still have hope that we'll get season 3, Murata will get back on track, and One Punch Man will return. But in the meantime, I'm going to be releasing some One Punch Man animations to hold you guys over. So make sure you're subscribed and sign up for my Patreon. That would help me out a great deal. I'm Mastar. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back soon with some more information on One Punch Man.